Right, thank you. And Gerard, from Amarach's point of view, you know, we've spoken a lot about how businesses are moving towards sustainability, but the thing that I really notice in all the discussion we've had so far is that it's not consumer driven per se. You know, there's a lot of acceptance out there if you can do things in the right way that consumers will go with you, but all of these businesses are talking about how careful they have to be to do these things in the right way so they can take their customers with them. What sort of trends are you seeing in the way that people are telling you about how they view sustainability and what they are likely to do about it?
I suppose what we're seeing is that a lot of our clients here in Ireland, the marketing people we deal with, they're in a trap. They're in a pricing trap. They've been for 2-3 years cutting prices, doing buy one, get one free offers. They've dug themselves into a hole where they've actually educated consumers in Ireland to think just about price. And I think they've made a huge strategic mistake. The rationale for it is obvious in an economic context, but they're now in a hole that they need to get out of. And the consumer's kind of showing them a way to get out of the hole, but sustainability is part of that if they can, as marketing people, respond to it. For instance, we know from consumer psychology that about 30% of a typical purchase decision is about the price. 70% is about emotions, it's about feelings. And yet, an awful lot of marketing right now in Ireland, and I'm sure it's happening outside of Ireland as well, is about that 30% of the decision. And I always think of Warren Buffett, who knows a thing or two, I guess, about these things, who said that price is what you pay and value is what you get. And right now, by emphasizing price, we are undermining the value, particularly the value created through the sustainable strategies of many of the companies operating in Ireland and elsewhere. Price is one-dimensional. It's higher, it's lower. Value, it's no longer about adding value, it's about multiplying value. And when we talk to consumers, they're looking for ways in which value is enhanced by the companies they buy from. Sustainability is a wonderful way to multiply value. Give you an insight from behavioral economics, for example, the famous insight around social norms. People are very influenced by what other people do. And famously, some hotels tried an initiative to encourage people to reuse their towels. And the message was, it's good for the environment, it's good for the planet, please reuse your towels. Typically, maybe 15-20% of people bothered. Next time round, they had a message. 70% of the people who stay in this hotel always reuse their towels. Suddenly, usage went all the way up. Because it's all about social norms. And that's an insight that from behavioral economics that marketing people, companies that are focused on sustainability should be using. But it's a little bit more than that, because right now there's a crisis, I think, for business in Ireland. When you talk to consumers, we talk to thousands every month in focus groups and surveys, they don't trust business anymore. They don't trust politicians, they don't trust the clergy, they don't trust the media, but they certainly don't trust business. As Robert De Niro would say, the circle of trust has gotten very small, and unfortunately, business is outside the circle. So how do you get back in the circle? Well, actually, again, we know from talking to marketers and talking to psychologists that consumers, actually, they're in a very different place to maybe what we used to think about. There's the old Maslow hierarchy, the hierarchy of needs, and it was all about getting to the top and self-actualization. That actually isn't relevant anymore. The real insights from evolutionary psychology, and we see it talking to our consumers in Ireland, it's about flourishing families. Actually, if you look at where people are at, it's about that social environment in which they live, their families, their neighbours, their communities, at work, and of course where they shop. And the companies that align sustainability around those basic needs that people have about multiplying value in their lives, they're the ones that actually are going to succeed. They're the ones that are going to get out of the pricing trap, for example. And in doing so, they will be very much in a situation, in the context, the classical psychological context of resilience. And I think sustainability is about helping people be resilient in the current climate. People will move from bouncing back to bouncing forward, to something that is hopeful and purposeful. And that's what consumers want from companies right now. help them bounce forward to a better future.
Right, okay, thank you. So we've had quotes from Albert Einstein through to Robert De Niro today.